everyone, and welcome back to the Goshen Publishers Podcast. I'm Dr. Shawn Richmond, and as many of you already know, I founded Goshen in 2007 to publish literary projects. And so Goshen, for the past 2.5, almost 3 years now, has worked with many book projects, journals, novels, memoirs. We have a stage play script, we do Bible study guides. And we're just on a mission to produce contemporary books, but not just books. Goshen being a faith based organization, our books have the specific purpose of drawing people closer to God. And with that, I'm super excited to introduce our guest author of today. She's a brand new author, and she is Miss Jania Amara Suitte. Hi, Jania. Welcome.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here, and I hope you don't mind my mentioning, but it's a very proud fact for Goshen that you are our youngest author and our very first teenager. Do you mind sharing how old you are?
I am 13 years old and I will be 14 in September.
Oh my gosh, only 13 years old, Jania, and you're about to become a published author. What does that feel like?
I feel really excited. I feel honored. I feel like God has poured into me all of these amazing gifts that I get to share with everybody else.
I'm still astounded that there's so much talent and so much maturity and so much passion at only 13. So I'll ask, how long have you been writing?
I've been writing since I was in 7th grade, so about a couple months ago, in 2019.
Wow. That's just wow. Since seventh grade. And you're in what grade now?
I'm going to 9th.
So you're 13 years old and you've been writing for over 2 years. That's just amazing to me. It's amazing. So I'm excited. I know both your parents, I know them well, and I know that they're super excited too. And I know that they stepped out of the room because this interview is about you and your project. But I want the world to know that you have a tremendous amount of support from incredibly loving parents, James and Janice Suitte. Is that a fair statement? Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would.
Okay. So, having known your parents for a very long time, I think I've come to know you well too. So, let's try something. I'm going to try and describe you the way that I've come to know you. And then I'm going to ask you to describe yourself the way that you see yourself, because oftentimes the way we describe somebody is not the way they would describe themselves. So, I would say that Jania Amara is a young lady with tremendous talents. She likes writing, she likes arts and crafts. She's a talented dancer and a singer. She's wonderful at gymnastics and cheerleading, and she's an entrepreneur. She's already running a couple of small businesses. But it feels like when I describe you, I'm telling people what you do, not really who you are. How would you describe yourself?
I would describe myself kind, smart, and talented too. I really admire everything that goes on and I would like to try new things and be bold and audacious.
I just love it. I love the energy. I love your enthusiasm. I can't wait for the world to meet you. So, what we haven't talked about yet, which is what brings us here today, is your brand new book. Your book title is My Empowerment Journal: Affirmations and Declarations for Audacious Living. Can we talk about your title a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. It's an empowerment journal. What do you mean by empowerment?
Well, for empowerment, I mean that anybody can do what they want, be bold and audacious, and that they have empowerment to do anything that they can do and set their mind to.
I think a lot of people are going to find that helpful. I think so. And it's not a novel. So it's not the kind of book you pick up and read front to back, cover to cover. It's a journal. So the way that Goshen is publishing your book, every day or every page will have a quote from Jania. And the plan is for your readers to read the quote or listen to it because there's going to be an audio feature, right? They'll read the quote and then they're going to journal their reflections or their prayers. Do you think journaling is important?
Yes, I think journaling is important because I believe that everybody should get a chance to write down how they're feeling or write down prayers to express how they are so they can pour it out into something else so they'll have it for later on.
I agree. I haven't journaled consistently, but I will admit that now that I've read your quotes and now that I've worked with them, I'm starting to see the importance of every day reminding myself to stay focused, to stay positive, and to stay active. Is that what you're hoping your readers will take away from your book?
Yes, because I want them to feel empowered by this book. I want them to go out into the world and make it better.
Wow. Wow. Just awesome, Jania. Now, your book has more than 40 quotes, all written by you. So I'll ask, where do all these quotes come from? How do you come up with so many of them?
It's things that happen in life. So if I'm having a good day, then I'll write something that how I'm feeling and I'll just make it into a rhythm. I would also do is I would pick up little events that people are doing too and combine mine with theirs and put it together to make a wonderful quote.
It's just genius. It's so incredibly original. So you're able to take your thoughts, transfer them into or translate them into positive affirmations. And then the intent is for other people to read your positive statements and begin to live a more positive life also. And so, Jania, this next question is a little bit off the cuff. So I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit because it's not something that we talked about. But if you had a couple of minutes now to say something encouraging to your readers, to your listeners, what is the message you would say to them?
What I would say to them is go for it. If you want to do something and your mind is set to do it, then go for it because you never know at the end of the result that it will always be a good thing that you did it. And I want you to feel encouraged by this book. So when you share it to others, they'll feel empowered too. So the world would be better. I really want you to come out of your shell and try new things and be open to whatever comes. And like what everybody says, when one door closed, another door opens.
I think that's just perfect. I think that's a reminder for everyone of every age. And would you say that that's your audience for this book, that it's something everybody could use, or would you say it's more specific to a smaller group?
It's for anybody to read because it is not, there's no limit of what age should read this book because I want everybody to feel how I'm feeling. And I'm feeling really excited and I'm feeling motivated and I'm feeling empowered.
That's awesome. I think that's what's going to happen with your book. And I remember, I think it was a conversation you and I had just last week where you were saying, and I took a note here because I thought that it was interesting. You said, I want people to feel warm and fuzzy inside. And I want people to know that God created them for a reason. Is that an accurate statement still?
That is because when I want them to feel warm and fuzzy, that means that they have something inside them that they can hold on to. And I feel that God has planned them out and took the time to create them just so that they can be in this world and they can serve Him.
I think that's perfect. Not only does it align with the mission of Goshen Publishers, and the types of books that we're trying to publish, but this is the mission that I think many of us should be on to make the world a better place, more positive, and just I like the way that you said it, more warm and fuzzy inside. So, if you could say, let's see, that was a message for your readers. And I know that there are parents who will consider buying your books for their teenagers, grandparents, teachers, church leaders, group leaders. I imagine your book in the hands of many groups of people, many families. And I think that they're going to learn a lot from you. Would you say that that's what would make your book successful if it gets into lots of hands and lots of people?
Yes, I think it would be very successful. I really mainly care about the feeling of people and how they're feeling, and I want them to be empowered and I want them to share it with others so that everyone can learn and have new information and so they can be closer to God and also learn more about themselves that they didn't know about before. And I want them to feel creative and empowered and bold and audacious like my book.
I think that's perfect. Would you say that you're bold and audacious?
I would say I am bold and audacious.
How so? Give us an example. Give us an example of your boldness.
I feel very confident when I walk into a room. Have my head up high and I feel that the I'm about to start something new and learn more and more things. And I feel that when I am bold, that I just lose all the negative thoughts and feel what is most important.
I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect. I have to tell you again, I'm sure I've said it before. I know that your parents and your family, that your friends, they're all very proud of you. Here at Goshen Publishers, we're proud to work with you and we're honored to publish your book and represent you. For those who are supporting you on this journey, particularly your parents and your families, those we're acknowledging in your books, do you have any words for them?
I just want to say thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for being with me all this way for me to be publishing a book for the whole world to experience. I want to thank you for being with me for all these years, for encouraging me and lifting me up high to be very successful. So I want to thank them.
That's awesome. I'm sure they're listening, and I'm sure they're as proud at this moment as all of us here at Goshen are. For the listeners, I want to say that this is the introductory podcast for Miss Jania Amara Suitte. That Jania's podcast will be airing monthly. She'll be interviewing family and friends. She'll be discussing her book with her fans and followers and listeners and readers. And so this is just the beginning. Goshen Publishers is proud to announce the soon release of Jania's book, My Empowerment Journal. It's scheduled to release mid September in just a few weeks. And for those who'd like to continue to follow Jania, her webpage is www.goshenpublishers.com/Jania-Suitte, and that's goshenpublishers.com/JANIA hyphen SUITTE. From there, you'll be able to get links to her audio chat, to purchase her book, to see her upcoming engagements, and just to stay connected with Jania as she endeavors to make the world a more positive place. Jania, is there anything else you'd like to say in closing?
I would like to say to all the viewers, thank you so much for supporting me. And I want to empower you and I want you to feel motivated in this world. I want you to feel happy. I want you to feel positive, and I want you to take all the negative thoughts out of your head and push it to the bottom of the ocean because there is no room for negative feelings and thoughts.
I think that's the best message I've heard in a very long time. Thank you for joining us today, Jania. And to all of the listeners, until next time, keep reading and keep writing with Goshen Publishers.